have been trying to talk to you on here. I'm like, I'm waiting.
I know. No, the invitation said it was waiting for you.
Yeah, and I kept sending an invite and it wouldn't let me, so I didn't know. I just want to first and foremost apologize if you guys hear any like loud sounds. I do have some construction going on, and they rang my doorbell and said that they're going to be making some noise. So I just want to apologize first and foremost. But hello, I am here.
Hello.
All right, I'm so excited.
I'm like, okay, now we've figured it out.
Yes, and I'm so excited because we can finally talk a little bit more about what we've been doing behind the scenes, what our initiative is about. I saw and I heard that Amber was talking about the rally and the friendly protest that's happening on Thursday, and that the shirts are coming. They look beautiful. I'm so excited.
Me too.
It's still being finished, so I didn't wear it today, but
it's a little bright.
That we passed our technical difficulties, I think that we're going to dive right into it. And hello everybody from Canada. I am the other half of, and I don't even know where I'm looking. Amber, where am I looking? Because we're sideways.
I think we look
my camera's over here. Am I looking at the camera? Because we're sideways, guys. We decided because we didn't want to be on top of each other.
Which I like better.
I'm going to look here. I hope you guys know I'm not cross-eyed, but I'm going to look over here.
Me too. I'm all, where do I look? I'm going to look away from you.
Okay, so you guys, we have been working together for a bit of time now, and we've decided to really step up to the plate and to the game, step up our game and really make an impact and make a difference. And we thought that by doing what we've done, by creating an initiative called Save Our Children, we thought that this would really put us on the map and have a place for all of you as community and a platform where we can all come together. So I'm gonna let Amber talk a little bit because she is so passionate. It hurts, but it feels good at the same time because we talk about some really deep conversations, and it's things that like I can't mute and I can't unsee, but we're here to make a positive impact.
Yes. Well, I mean, I've known an Alana for now, it's been a couple of years that we've been kind of supporting each other, and I love the fact that she's so driven and so technically and business minded, and I am very excited and honored that she wants to do this initiative with me, especially because I have a million things going on, and it's nice to have somebody like helping me out in those technical issues that normally, you know, I'd have to get somebody or hire somebody to help me do it, and now I have a confidant to do that with me. When I talked to Alana about we initially did the Alias initiative for Stronger Apart, Stronger Together. And I really felt so passionate about the child sex trafficking and trafficking awareness that when Alana was like, let's do our initiative. And I was like, oh my God, I know exactly what I want to do. I had been reading and researching and watching videos, and I had literally been sucked into this horrible like vortex. It doesn't seem real. The more information I get, the more videos I get, the more information I have access to, I want to run and hide. I mean, your heart wants to run and hide. You don't want to admit that these atrocities happen in America or anywhere else, but significantly in America. And I don't think people understand the severity of it. And if you look at the fact that it's 600 to 800,000 people, and not just children, but mostly children, are trafficked in the United States a year. That's about, what is it? Alana, did we say it was 2.1 million?
Yeah.
Or 2.1 million all over the world. Yeah. That means that America is significantly the biggest area of child trafficking and sex trafficking and human trafficking, human slavery. I mean, there's so much. People don't get that there's so many facets to trafficking, and for it to be the biggest money business in the United States, just the United States right now, it's a $150 million business, or billion, was it billion?
Billion.
So $150 billion business. This outweighs guns. This outweighs drugs. Can you imagine? We are literally trafficking human beings more often than they're trafficking drugs and guns, which has been a a steadfast and a business that's been going on for hundreds of years. Now you're looking at it's like a cult. It really is. I mean, people are allowing this to kind of be swept under the rug, and they don't want to admit that it's a real thing. So when we decided that we were going to do the initiative, we started the website, which is saveourchildreninitiative.com. It was kind of heart-wrenching to dive into those things.
I
So
mean, about the images too, Amber.
yeah.
Like there are some images, and we're going to be graphic, but we're going to be like what we called it, a positive graphic. I know that there are a lot of sites out there that can get a bit too emotionally impactful, and that's kind of where we want to be, but we also want to keep it very positive, and we don't want to be, we want to keep it light, not so dark, because we're going to start peeling the layers very slowly, and we're going to be very raw, but in a very respectful, in a very positive way. And something that I had mentioned to Amber, I'm sorry, I just don't know where I'm looking right now, was that here in Canada, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate that there isn't as high of child sex trafficking here. What we find and what we've experienced here in Canada, and I'm on the West Coast as well, I'm in Alberta, so I'm closer to British Columbia, is labor trafficking. There is so much of that going under the table. There's a lot of, I was actually talking to one of my suppliers today who was actually coming on board. I didn't tell that to
No.
but I've been getting so many people involved, and I almost spent like an hour. I was there just to make a payment for some of my stuff, and we ended up talking about this initiative that we now have. And her husband is Cambodian, and there's a lot of trafficking coming from Cambodia. I mean, Asia in general. But we were talking about, how here in Canada we have a lot of massage parlors,
Right.
and those are all Asians.
Yeah,
and
they're all trafficked.
That's a form of trafficking. Yes. That is all they know. That is what they're used to. That's what they're being paid for. So I think that by bringing awareness, creating the website, creating our multiple platforms, it's still very new, everyone. Yeah. We don't have a whole lot of following, but know that what we're doing is the right thing that we believe in. I wanted to also express, I don't have children. Amber is a mom of 2, 3.
Yes. Twin boys and an 18-year-old, which,
exactly.
He comes to visit us a lot, but he's our grown boy.
So, especially with your twins, it's, like, how does that feel being a mom, knowing that you could blink and your child is gone?
Well, it's extremely frightening. I mean, and I think for anybody, truly, if you, and Alana and I are very strong about this opinion, is if you are not for this, if you are not on board with stopping sex trafficking, child sex trafficking, child slavery. Oh yeah. I just love that cinnamon. I'm like, I got really excited. No, my little clip just let go of it. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm like, okay, now see you later. I'm back. But if you're not for it, then you are a predator. There is no black and white. There is no gray area. It's black and white. You're either against it and you think it's wrong and you want it to stop and you want to protect children and you want to protect people being sex trafficked and child trafficked, or you're a predator and you don't want to admit that it's a real thing, or you do it yourself. And that's what makes me so passionate about it, because if you're a human being and you have children in your family, you have cousins and nephews and nieces and you have sisters and brothers, all of these people should drive you to make a difference and to be loud about it. When our rescue is like, get loud. Why aren't we? Why aren't we getting
make a lot of noise? And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We as women, we have a very powerful job. Okay.
Yeah.
We are super women. We can create babies. We create life.
Yeah.
We are here to empower one another. We have to take what we have as our given platform and utilize it to save the future. And the future are these children.
Yes.
And when Amber and I came together to talk about this, it was so emotional, and it really did hit me really hard too. I think we are very similar but very different in many ways. And I told Amber that one day I hope that I can share my story. And that's going to be down the road. I'm not ready to go there just yet. And I'm not saying that I'm not victimizing myself or anything like that, or putting myself in there. I'm not a survivor. I'm just saying that I've experienced something, and I know what it feels like for, the women and the children and who have gone through things like this. So we really want to make sure that we hone into spreading the awareness, and making sure that we get some type of reaction.
Right.
We need a reaction.
Yeah. Well, like this is going to be our motto for, forever. And this is something that I say is you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is an uncomfortable situation. This is an uncomfortable conversation. Lots of people don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, quite frankly. But if I'm not talking about it, we need to spread word. We need to use our platform, and we need to use our voice. And if we've got a voice, we should be using it. And that was what I was compelled to do. The second I knew that's the whole switch of my page, the whole switch of my initiative. Just as a human, I knew this was my calling. I needed to be present. I needed to spread awareness. I needed to spread information, because I think a lot of people, including myself, never really truly believed the scale of it. You like, oh, it happens here and there. I remember growing up in the days of America's Most Wanted. I mean, this is a strange story to share, but I'll share it. My mom, when I was little, and she was a single mom, after the little boy went missing, she used to tie me up and put me in a closet, and she would tell me, get yourself untied, be as quiet as you can, don't let me hear you, get out and go to the phone or find a phone and call 911 or get out of the house. And this was something she practiced with me as a kid, and I can't even fathom practicing that with my boys. But now, knowing the scale of how many children are stolen, I mean, they're literally, it's every 41 seconds, one child is gone missing, has been taken. Think about that. Think about the scale of that. 41 seconds, you're looking at under a minute, one child is missing all day, every day. That's frightening and so scary. And the biggest thing for me is only 1% of them are found. Where are they going? Where are they? And that's why we want to dive into this, and we want to be an outlet. Alana and I spoke really lengthily about being a resource. We're not going to be the ones out there rescuing the kids. Obviously, we don't have the capability, we don't have the training, but we want to get on board with companies that do and people that do, and really give them the resources, give them the therapy resources, and give them the get back into life resources. I mean, so many of these kids how were born and raised into trafficking, they don't know a life outside of that. They don't know how to get a job. They don't know how to love. They don't know what is normal. And this is the kind of thing that Alana and I want to get together with, and we're asking, we are asking if you are a therapist and this is something that you are passionate about as well. We're going to need people like that, but we're going to need you pro bono. We're going to need people that want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, because these kids know nothing else. They know no love. They know no kindness. They don't know what it's like to have people care about them and deeply want to know how to make them have a real life.
The sad reality too, Amber, that we were talking about is black and white. They don't even know the difference between wrong or right anymore, because they've been groomed to think that what they're doing or what their perpetrators have taught them to do is the way of life. That's their normal. That isn't normal. And we have to find a way to teach them, and they've been conditioned. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
they've groomed, and people, a lot of people hear the word grooming and they don't actually comprehend what grooming is. And grooming can come in so many different forms. When Alana and I were sort of diving into our history just of ourselves and understanding where we've bumped into a person that was sort of trying to groom us. I mean, being a model, I started modeling at 5 years old, and I would meet photographers and agents and people, and I would always feel really aware. And I believe this is from my grandmama. She was very, these are the kind of people you trust. These are the kind of people you don't. Trust your instincts, trust your feelings. And even young, if I got a really strange feeling about someone, even if it was like a huge paying job, I would say no because I felt something wasn't right. And so many kids aren't taught that. So many kids aren't taught to just go off of their gut instinct, go off of, their heart, and go off of if something doesn't feel right. And I think that we need to start teaching our kids that. I think that this needs to be implemented more so now than ever. I mean, right now, the predators are online. The predators are going after your children. You want to believe it or not, if you allow your children on social media in this day and age, I don't care, they are being spoken to by predators, and you need to be aware. So many parents are like, here's an iPad, here's a cell phone, go do your thing. We can't do that. We need to be vigilant. We need to be watching what they're doing. We need to be checking their instant messages. We need to be checking the kind of people who are liking and talking on their posts.
Checking what they're actually looking for.
Yes.
What's going in their address bars,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of sites out there that will pull them in and not realize, but there's a lot of subliminal messages that are put out on the internet.
Yeah.
You have to really monitor and, like Amber said, be vigilant and start restricting. It's okay. We're not saying we're not anti, iPads and games.
Right.
You kind of have to do that to keep them busy sometimes. And
Right.
That's great. I remember, I think, Amber, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but
yeah.
Sometimes I think you mentioned that one of your boys, they'll do anything to have their games or whatever,
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing too, is you have to be careful what games they're playing,
Yes.
like who they're playing with, because these predators, they will go, like, I think it's like live, they can go play on live. They could be talking to them and befriending them. That's they're creating an area or a space of trust.
Yes.
And that's how we get sucked in.
Yeah.
And this is also something I wanted to touch on, what Amber was saying, is that, she started modeling very early, and luckily she was here, but in third world countries, I'm Filipino, so I'm considered in the Asian market. If somebody came to a third world country and said, you're beautiful, you have great headshots, you have the most beautiful whatever, and that's their way in, that's kind of like their line. And of course, these girls are thinking, okay, I have an opportunity, I can make money, I can go abroad, only to think that they're going to be making this great lifestyle, but really they've just been trafficked.
Right.
And they don't know better. They don't know better. Neither do their parents, because their parents are thinking, you can go abroad, you can support us, you can bring home money. It doesn't work like that. And that's where, she comes in as well as saying, these are the things you need to look for when a scout comes and tries to scout you to model.
Oh, so much. I mean, that's like one of the biggest ones. I mean, I was, in fact, I can share a story. I won't use a name, but it was a very big designer. And he invited me to his villa in Las Vegas. And I went to meet with him, and he was like, I've seen your headshots, your agency sent over to me, can you come over? And I was like, sure. And so I go into his villa, and he's there, and there's a young girl in a pool at his villa, and she looks very young. And at this point, I think I was 27, 28. And I see this girl, and she looks like she's maybe 15, 16, and she's swimming, and she comes in and she starts sitting on his lap and kissing him while he's talking to me. And I was so put off, and I was so shocked that he would invite me, first of all, and we started talking about modeling, and then it literally went from modeling to, oh, so where do you live and what do you do? And, you're so beautiful. And I felt so uncomfortable that I left. I was like, okay, that was great. Nice to meet you. And it's shocking how normalized it's become. It's become an industry where these men, these women, they're predators. They think that because they have a name brand behind them, or they have some kind of chic magazine behind them, that they can be predators like this with young women. And so many young women have no other options. And truly, like you're saying, in, Philippines and other places, I mean, even in small towns and rural towns in America, you're looking at girls who are beautiful. Yes, I'm not saying any of them are not beautiful, but they are such a target because they think, wow, this is my way out. This is the way I will be able to, become something and help my family. And that's what's so scary, is it feels a bit like the military. You're a kid in the Midwest or whatever, and you don't have any money, and you're like, wow, I get a free education, and I can go blow shit up in the, in other countries. but the severity of what happens to them too is, you know, they get the PTSD and they go through traumatic things. I mean, I'm not saying that that has anything to do with trafficking and sex trafficking, but these victims also go through PTSD. And that's where I'm kind of drawing that, you know, those two things together is you watch these people who have been through this and their families have sold them. I mean, some of the stories I've read, some of the videos I've watched, I'm appalled and shocked that a lot of these kids, they're sold by their families. And, you know, when you look at predator, you know, percentages, most children are abused sexually by someone they know or someone in their family. That is frightening, but it does bring to light just for so many people, and so many people keep that in. You know, you don't realize it happened to you until it's too late. And that's why, you know, I have to mention Trump on this one. And, you know, for the people that aren't on his side, I'm sorry, but there's no other president who has caught more sex traffickers and saved more children in all of his 4 years than any other president before him. And he signed into bill that there's no statute of limitations to go after your abuser. And I think that is hugely impactful, especially with what we're doing, because so many people hold on to that grief and hold on to that abuse and hold on to that story and don't want to share it. And then, you know, you get movements that sort of muddy it up, like Me Too movement, where it got a little murky. You know, you have a bunch of people coming out and saying, oh, Me Too, and some were lying. And that's what's so scary, is that they make that, you know, they make that water murky. And we want to be a safe space for true survivors and for true, you know, children who need a new start and need a new family and are really victims.
Yeah, and there's really not anything else I can add to that. And I'm so happy, and I'm so blessed, and I'm so fortunate to be able to share this journey with Amber. Her passion drives me 100%, you guys, and I really do hope that you guys are on this journey with us too, because like I said to some of my friends and family, you know, it just takes one voice in a crowd to make a movement, right? To make make noise. But if we stay silent, that means that we're condoning what we're seeing.
Yes, agreed.
And so it's better to make a statement and take a stand on what you believe in, to stay quiet and allow everything else to just kind of happen. You know, like the rug has a huge hump, and there's so much going on with COVID right now. The pandemic has really opened my eyes, definitely. I couldn't imagine what some of these children and women are going through right now, being isolated and being quarantined in such difficult and harsh situations. So I'm very fortunate that I'm not in that right now, and I would like to be able to use my voice and my platform and the connections that I have here in Canada to be able to promote the end to this. Like I said, pardon my language, but the shit has to end. Yes. It really does. And I think that Amber and I are on the right path. And I kind of wanted to also touch up on exactly what we're doing with the apparel, because I think some of you are maybe wondering, okay, well, you know, there's always cash grabs and there's always ways to make money.
Right.
Ultimately, our goal is to create, is to help with a creative platform and a community to be able to help support, I guess, the aftercare of, you know, the women, children, and those who are victimized by this awful, disgusting stuff that's going on in the world. And so our ultimate goal is to also put in some of the funding for the apparel sales into a global trust that will help third world countries and, you know, the United States, small towns and things like that, be able to access outreach programs and create rehabilitation centers where they can go in and relearn, be accepted, have a place of safe haven. Yeah. Our rescue is amazing. They have saved so many children. The Child Rescue Coalition, I believe that's what it's called as well. They've rescued so many children. And there are a lot of organizations that are rescuing children. We obviously don't have that tactical advantage, so let them do theirs. That market has already been touched. Yes, there's a lot of human trafficking organizations. There's a lot of websites that you can go to, but we want to be very transparent and say that we are here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because as we are here trying to gain trust and create something for the world globally, there's a lot of organizations that are using their platform to actually, they're predators.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing this more and more in the news. You know, just recently they're talking about children going missing from ICE facilities and being trafficked back into trafficking. You're seeing kids that have been supposedly saved by the UN and are going into trafficking. You're seeing these, you know, these people who are going out to foreign countries, and you're looking at them in Africa, and you're looking at them in, you know, different, just really decimated countries that are very poor, and the children, you know, are starving, and they take them with the guise of, you know, going to a camp or finding them a better life or adoption or foster care. And all of these people are doing is putting them right back into the trafficking and right into a life of hell. And we can't allow it anymore. And we need to call people out. And we need people, if you work in these organizations and you're seeing things that are not right, you need to speak up, because you're their voice. You're the voice of the voiceless. And we need to continue to encourage people to be just that. You know, if you work in the foster care system or CPS or anybody else that is taking children and putting them into slavery and into sex trafficking and into these horrible, you know, even what you were saying, into labor trafficking, you should be speaking up for these people. Like, stop worrying about your job. I know that it's hard and I know that it's scary, but if you don't do it, no one else will.
Yeah. And I think moral high ground, you have to find the moral high ground. And you have to have that moral compass to direct you in the right direction, because, you know, for example, the third world countries, the Philippines, there's a, like, look at our population. Everyone is having kids, but these kids are almost being created to feed onto the industry of trafficking.
Right.
And when you don't realize what's going on because you don't see, or you refuse to see it, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. And so there's going to be a lot more coming from Save Our Children Initiative.
Yes.
We're so excited to have launched the website. The website right now is very basic. It's straight to the point. That's what we wanted it to be. We didn't want to put any fluff. We wanted it to be basic, raw, and just express what we felt.
Well, and thought-provoking. You know, we want you to go on there and feel an emotion, and we want you to go in to get information, and we want you to go in and find the resources. That's what you know. That's what our site will be all about. I mean, you know, with Alana, I'm so proud and so thankful that she's so savvy and has made a website like that. But it's exciting and it's frightening. And, you know, this is just the first of our many videos to come. I believe we're going to start a YouTube soon, and we'll be posting this on our website as well. So it's kind of a get to know us and get to know our initiative and get to know our passion.
Just one more thing,
go ahead.
just to let you guys all know, we do have a YouTube page, and it is Save Our Children Initiative.
Okay.
And we will be posting some videos on there as soon as we can get some. If you are a survivor, if you know a survivor, if you know somebody there who is a victim, first of all, call. Go and call the 1-800 numbers. If you don't know what the 1-800 numbers are, go to our website, Save Our Children Initiative. It's on there, Canadian and US phone numbers. And that's where I think we have a great platform, is that a lot of the sites are either Canadian or they're American. And here we've got both combined. So you go to one site and you see all of North America. And we're going to include international offices as well. I want to extend our invitation as well. If you are a therapist, if you would like to become a sponsor, if you want to join our initiative, if you're a survivor, a victim, a mother, a daughter, a sister, whoever, if you feel that this resonates with you and you want to make a difference, join us, because the bigger the group, the bigger the noise.
Yeah.
Right, Amber?
Absolutely. And we need to get loud, and we need to, you know, I find myself just recently really getting in touch with like-minded women, and so many more than I even realized I had in my network of women. And, you know, this includes men too. And I know that we've been pushing really hard because we know a lot of moms and we know a lot of women who are passionate about it. But we want the dads there too. You're just as involved. Having a family, having that strong bond within your family is key to keeping your kids safe. And, I was talking on another interview and I was telling Alana that it felt so strange to me that they call a normal family a nuclear family. It sounds so negative. We need to start an initiative to change that name, because I don't think that a mom, dad, and kids should be considered a nuclear family. We need a better word for that, because this is what we should be striving towards. This is the kind of community we need to strive to be. And we need to connect with families and with friends and with teachers and with law enforcement. And we need to band together, because this cannot continue. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is the one thing that has no divide. This is not divisive. This is everybody. This is no race, color, creed, age, sex, nothing. This is all encompassing. And if you are on board, you are with everyone. We're all in this together.
It's a societal pandemic.
Yes.
It's not affecting, my race or the gender. It's everybody. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And I just really want to make sure that you guys understand that we are here for the right reasons. Yeah. We are going to be 100% transparent and raw. And if you don't feel comfortable with it, then we've done our job.
Yeah,
we've done our job. We have put you in a position of an emotion that you don't know how to deal with. And that is what we want. We want you to be able to feel, we want you to squirm and go, yeah, holy, this is really happening. This can't be happening. Yeah. Like, how are the numbers so high? And I think Amber was even saying, like, they've skyrocketed or they've increased exponentially with COVID. So these are things, there's always going to be all these movements and all these initiatives and all these campaigns. But this is something that's been going on for far too long. And we need to start getting to the decision makers. We need to start. Trump is doing something, unfortunately, on the Canadian side, and I'm not going to get aggressive. But Trudeau has really disappointed me. I'm sorry if you guys are all Trudeau supporters. But unfortunately, he has pulled out funding from trafficking, from human trafficking,
just
and
recently
has put it towards COVID. And, I guess he's the leader of our country, but you're not understanding that there's all these other things that are happening. And he's basically put all the funding now and everything into COVID.
Right.
And he's not understanding that what he's doing is actually a repercussion, like there's issues now.
It's such a negative, such a negative way to go about it. First of all, I'm sure that there's funding that he could have taken out of other areas that are keeping people safe. If his COVID initiative, or anyone's COVID initiative at this point, is trying to keep the people safe, they shouldn't be taking from resources. Alana and I were talking about this yesterday as well. When, liquor stores are open and bars are open, that as long as you can get food, but you can't go to an AA meeting, or you can't go to church, or you can't go to the gym. Some people who have addiction issues, that's their only outlet. And you're looking at, abuse cases skyrocketing, and you're looking at domestic abuse cases skyrocketing, and suicides are off the charts. No one is talking about this, and no one is addressing the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is sex trafficking and is pedophilia, and is not allowing people the resources. At the end of the day, if masks are working, then they should be able to go to an AA meeting, and they should be able to go to church. So what they're trying to do is really decimate all hope. And, when I saw Trudeau took away the funding for trafficking, I was like utterly shocked. That he would choose that to take money from. I think that that's really strange. And I think that it's suspect. If you have to be honest about it. But we can't allow it. We can't allow these people to, make you feel helpless. And that's why we wanted to start this. Alana and I are equally as passionate, and I think I'm a little more voice about it.
Yeah, she is. And that's the whole goal.
But she's my backbone as far as, pushing me and making sure that, I'm staying accountable and putting out the information, and really meeting with her about updating our information. And, I think that we're a great team, and I'm excited, and I hope that you guys like this live, we're going to post the video later so you can watch the whole entire thing. And then look at our website, which is saveourchildreninitiative.com. And you can follow us. Alana is actually live from our Instagram page, which is Save Our Children Initiative. And please do the click and follow and look for resources on everybody meeting tomorrow or on Thursday, the 30th, which is National Human Trafficking in Persons. And that is a specific day to, stand up, march, demonstrate against those things. I have a lot of ladies making posters that are going to be in your face and give you something, give you an emotion, draw something out of you, because I want you to be uncomfortable. We want you to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are excited about all of this. I want you guys to follow our new YouTube page as well. And just share what we are. If you're not sure how to help, you could repost, you can like our page, comment on it, because when you comment on something that we have, it shows on other people's feeds, and then people will then go and look, what is she looking at? What is Save Our Children? Right. We need to get the connections established on a global level. Right. And if me and Amber, although very far apart, can do it, and we are going to create this, we've created it together, and we are going to continue to make moves, then anybody can do it by simply clicking like and follow, and joining our movement.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm excited for Thursday. I'm excited to see your shirts. Like Amber said, I'm going to be shipping the shirts. If you guys are interested, if you're you're doing the Huntington location. So if you guys are in the Huntington Beach area, on the pier from 11 to 4, find her. She's going to have our shirts on. If you're interested in buying a shirt, let her know. Yes. You can also email us at saveourchildreninitiative@gmail.com, and one of us will contact you back.
Absolutely.
And if you would like to join the team, just email. All of our contact information is online, or you can find us anywhere.
Yeah.
So
we're all over the place at this point.
I don't know how I can thank you, Amber, for giving this opportunity to me, and to be able to do something with purpose. Yes. I always ask myself, I didn't just be put on earth to work and to live up my life. There has to be something that I can give back. This is our legacy.
Yeah. Well, and I said the same thing to you. I can post, modeling photos in magazines all day long until I'm blue in the face. That's my profession. But at the end of the day, how impactful am I really? When I tell people I'm a good vibe influencer, because I'm not an influencer, really. I want to influence you now to open your mind, influence you now to open your heart, influence you to open your eyes and make a difference. And that is now, if no one else wants to be on that kind of initiative, I would be shocked, because it truly is what we're made to do. We're all human beings. We're all made to love. And, like my friend Amelia says, good people love. I mean, there's no such thing as a bad, a good person not loving. If you're a good person, you love. And that's a simple truth. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get the t-shirts.
John Walsh.
Yes.
John Walsh, one child missing is one too many.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And it's going to be that way. And we need to find these kids. I mean, if only 1% has been saved, where are they? We need to help get the resources. We need to help, press people to want to make a difference. The people that are military trained. I mean, our police officers, our CPS agents, these people who it's their job to keep kids safe. Let's encourage them. Let's encourage them to make a difference. And we can be the outlet, and we can be the people that make sure that they go to the right places, and they go to the right shelters, and they go to the right homes, and they have adequate, therapy and adequate love to bring them back. And I'm excited. I'm driven and excited, and I'm emotional about it. But you guys look at our posts, and also everyone look for an area demonstration for July 30th. There are tons of them going up online, and I'm really excited about it. And we need to get loud, and we need to make an impression, and we need to make posters to make people uncomfortable. If you have to bring pictures of children or statistics alone should shock people into wanting to make a difference. And if there are any sponsors out there, obviously when we're on Huntington Beach, on the pier, we're looking for, people to just bring snacks, water, anything to kind of keep our demonstrators out there and comfortable. People that are going out there, I suggest you bring umbrellas because it's going to be hot and sunny, but we want to be out there and we want to make a difference and we want to make a stand for the children.
And you want to do it positively and
yes.
safely.
Yes.
We don't want like a riot. We just we want to be heard.
Yes.
If you're not sure, I know there's like, if you were to Google or even search on different tags for World Day Against Human Trafficking in Persons, you'll find something. But if you go to our website, saveourchildreninitiative.com, there is a page. It's the events page. There are a few that we have listed about where some, like I think there's one in Temecula. I think you said San Diego.
Temecula, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, Marina del Rey, Las Vegas, and that's just in my like general circle of people who've told me where there's locations. So go online, look up those locations. You can go on our website and find those locations. You can also go to our rescue if you're in other states. I know that they've got a huge list, especially in the Midwest, of locations that are doing these marches and demonstrations. So get loud, be a part of it, make a difference.
Exactly. Can't say anything there. And stay safe. Stay safe. It's going to be hot. You're going to be filled with emotions. There's going to be a lot of activity going on, I'm sure. And like I said, there will be shirts available too. The other thing I wanted to ask Amber, and she'll answer this, is normally the color for human trafficking or trafficking in general is blue.
Yes.
Amber, why did we choose red as our theme? And
yes. So, okay, well, I know that everyone's saying wear blue, and I understand the symbolism because of the blue ribbon. So I suggest if you are wearing blue, you should be wearing a blue ribbon. Now, if you're wearing all blue, I just don't want the idea of alienation. And I know that a lot of people were like, oh, if you back the blue, then you don't back Black Lives Matter. So if you're wearing all blue, then it's just, we don't want to skate that thin line. And I feel like, being pretty neutral in our coloring and then using red more so because it's like an emergency, it's like a code. It's a code red. It's urgent. It is in your face.
It's bold.
Yes. And red, it symbolizes, so many different things, including passion and passion about this, this initiative for me is number one. And I feel like red is in your face, and really, if you think about it, like the blood is on your hands. If you don't do something and you don't get involved and you just pretend like it's not happening, that blood is on your hands too. And people need to understand what is truly going on behind those closed doors and, those children's misery. And we need to stand up for it.
Exactly. Well,
yes,
I think that we will conclude our live right now. I have to go get the shirts. I'm going to ship them to you. And stay tuned, you guys. There's going to be so much more. This is just a little bit of the layers coming off. Absolutely. As we dive deeper, as our following grows, as Amber uses her platform to really attract more and more people, we are really going to be able to be heard. And the more people we have, that means that we're making the right noise.
Yes.
So get on board, guys. If
it's going to be a ripple effect, I tell you, you have to pick. It's black and white. You pick a side. You're either for us or you're a predator, and that's plain and simple. If you don't want to believe this is really happening, then quite frankly,
you're allowing it to happen. You're saying your silence is saying, you know what? I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't happen to you. Yeah. No.
Exactly.
Nobody.
So we're passionate about it. We hope you're passionate about it. We hope that it resonates with you, and there's so much more to come. Like Amber said, there's going to be a series that we're going to be unveiling shortly. And again, we want to make sure that we reach out to survivors, victims. If you are a victim right now and you're watching this, or you know somebody and doesn't want to pick up the phone, doesn't want to get, is scared, email us or contact us. You can DM us if you'd like, and we will reach out in a very discreet manner.
Yes, absolutely. And then a friend just asked where to find the shirts. You can go on saveourchildreninitiative.com, and you can purchase the t-shirts there as well as wristbands. And I believe the link is also on our Save Our Children initiative on Instagram as well, right?
Yes,
so
it is.
We can just
Everything is there. All you have to do is click.
Click it.
That's all you have to do. Yeah. We're not asking you to, you know, rally a support of the t-shirt, wearing the t-shirt on that day, sending us, tagging us, you know, Save Our Children with your wristbands. They are coming out, and they're red. That's for you as well. So we want to really make sure that you guys are all on board with us. And like I said, we are, even though this isn't the initiative for it, we are strong. We're strong we're strong apart, but together we're even stronger.
Yes.
And we're miles away, and we're making moves. So
we're definitely strong together.
Yes, we are.
All right, Lana, thank you so much. Thanks everybody for coming in and watching our live. If you have any more information, you can definitely DM